Price of freedom and the value of a good conversation. What if you have always been welcome, Sarah Grandinetti? There's no space for judgment. There's only choice, Sarah Grandinetti. If you're changing for someone else, it's not sustainable, Sarah Grandinetti. Consciousness has no polarity, Sarah Grandinetti. And here we go. You have to pick your battles wisely. And often you have to pick not to fight, not because you were afraid, God forbid. Quite the contrary, especially when you really want to fight. Then you should lay down your arms and rest and meditate and reflect and just be. As the wise Sahabi taught us, to hurt or even kill in anger is impermissible. And the tempered knights probably knew the same thing. When and if such a drastic thing is required or even considered, it should never be done in anger, haste, or emotion. There are stories of samurai who lowered their swords after days of fighting at the final step, for they have noticed a scent of anger and they could not complete the deed. And there are stories of druids who would walk into a raging battlefield and everything would instantly stop. This was the respect the people of old had for nature. And when a druid walked in, it was nature walking in. And everything ceased immediately. So you have to pick your battles wisely, and luckily for most of us, it is not that drastic, but it might one day be. We have to train for that moment where it comes or not. And sometimes my battle is with the keyboard. And sometimes my battle is with the screen, and most of my days my battle is with myself, which can be an obsessive, navel-gazing, narcissistic self-aggrandizement, or it can be an actual spiritual practice, depending on which level and from which space you're doing it. I spoke to a friend and she told me how intelligent conversation is such a pleasant thing to have, especially if you're lacking it. And I'm not talking about comparing PhDs like sexual organs to see who can outwit each other. Only some English, young, upperly mobile Americans or rich people with too much time on their hands actually do that. Or maybe someone else, I don't know. And God bless them, for it surely serves a purpose. Intelligent conversation about everything and nothing all at once is the bedrock of civilized society, and though I have more than a few bones to pick with what is deemed civilized these days, I still hold true to the basic ideal of humanism, and I do not see it as opposing my spirituality in any way, shape, or form. I do believe at this point, if you still think this contradiction exists, you're not truly informed enough, and you're a little bit outdated, to be honest. Well, that's okay, for everyone picks their own lane of progression, and if you're not changing every 10 days in the whole new creation, are you even living? So the battle can go on. So the battle can also be clinging to battles that are long gone or outdated or not really necessary, or on the whole concept of life as battle and struggle. That can be a part of it, and it is, but a joyful struggle, a battle fought with zest, chutzpah, mojo, and a war cry of liberation of consciousness. And it does not have to involve swords, arms, or even harsh words. It is mostly, as any Sufi will tell you, internal. And your lower nature, your ego, your nafs, and your small selves has to be dealt with. And until you have entered that battle, no matter how many hour ones you may have won, you still have not even started living yet. And you can find the same ideas with the Stoics and the ancient ones in a Hermetic tradition and any tradition worthy of its name. For I do believe we need to go back to the wisdom tradition of the ancients, especially as the civilized technocratic barbarism is threatening the whole of what is left of the free and civilized world, which has little to do with East or West, or with this or that state, country, empire, ideology, but more with spaces of togetherness where blobs of consciousness recognizing themselves as such, sit, build, create, dance, enjoy, sing, and celebrate everything. Make your life a celebration. May the fire of freedom never go out, no matter how tainted it becomes by the narcissism those that claim to be leaders, but have never mastered their own self. Happy hunting, and may the presence of the gods, grace of Mary, and the latter ancient ones be upon us all, in the days, months, years, decades, and eons to come. Love and respect, professional overthinker, Samo. Love you all. Share this with your friends you find it useful. Bye bye.